Well,
or that was the foxhole one.
That was the foxhole
Yeah.
one.
This Amateur Radio Roundtable is brought to you in part by ICOM America. Okay, good evening to everybody out there tonight. Boy, it's going to be a different show tonight. We're getting ready for Hamcation. Nearly all of our other co-hosts are already down there. Katie's already down in Orlando, I think, or traveling probably early in the morning. Joe, K0NEB, he's already there, so a lot going on. We'll be leaving Thursday morning. But we're going to have fun down at Hamcation, and hope to bring you some video from down there. You're listening to or watching Amateur Radio Roundtable. I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB. And we welcome you tonight, especially if you're a first-timer on here. We're glad you're with us. Join our Facebook group. It's called W5KUB. That's the short version. That'll get you to our room, or you can type in Amateur Radio Roundtable. But regardless, our Facebook group has almost 9,000 hams now. We're growing at about 1,000. We're growing about 100 per week now, I think was the last stat that I saw there. And that's especially been since we've started working on our balloon launch. That has really stirred up a lot of interest. We're going to talk about the balloon launch a little bit tonight and a lot of other things. So let's see what's going on tonight. So tonight we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to talk a little about Hamcation. We're going to talk about the balloon. We'll probably open the phone lines for you guys to call in. I just want to mention to you, Emmett was going to be with us the last week or two, but as I told you last week, Emmett's father passed away, and so Emmett is, I think, down in Texas probably right now. And he's also, Rochelle has some medical issues that they're involved in. So thoughts and prayers go out to Emmett tonight, everybody, please. We'll be down at Hamcation Saturday. Friday and Saturday, actually. So here's what our plan is. Since we won't have a booth down there this year, we're gonna record a lot of video on Friday, interviews outside the flea market, inside vendors, and so forth, and then we're gonna stream that all day Saturday. So if you tune in to W5KUB.com Saturday, you'll get a really good look at Hamcation 2020. So we'll be there. The chat room will be live. People can be chatting in there. So join us Saturday. That would be the 6th? 7th, I think. Anyway, maybe that's the 8th, actually, looking at that. So anyway, join us there. I would love to have you join us that day. And hey, I want to make an announcement. We got a new person in the room tonight. Look at this. KO4AWN. KO4AWN is in the chat room. He checked in the net tonight, the 40-meter net tonight, and his name is Chris. He's in Lakeland, Florida. He just got his general last night, and we were his first sideband contact. So everybody say hello to KO4AWN, Chris in Lakeland, Florida. He's in the chat room there. All right. We'll open the phone lines in a little while. It's going to be a very informal show tonight. We may be over with a little bit early. I imagine by probably 9 o'clock, maybe in 1 hour, we'll be through tonight. All right. Hey, I also see my son, AC5CM Chris, in the chat room. Welcome, Chris. Sometimes he forgets about the show. You know, he's so busy. He didn't remember that tonight's Tuesday until Wednesday. But anyway, welcome, Chris. Let's talk. I'll give you a little update on our balloon launch. You know, we've had various successes with our balloon launch, and as we mentioned last week, our balloon is down. We don't know where it is, and we went in big guns blazing with this one. We went with a special SBS 13 balloon. It's an expensive balloon, and we went with the tracker, and we went with 20-meter whisper, and we went with APRS, and something happened about Africa. We made it across the ocean. Our last report was around the Azores, and we lost connection. Now it was starting to be nighttime, and our balloon does not transmit at nighttime. So we don't know what happened. There would have been a 12-hour period of darkness. It could have kept going, but I feel like it's probably gone down somewhere around Algiers, or maybe Libya is where it's crashed. If it had gone down during the daytime, we would have seen it on Whisper. We would have saw the altitude, and we would have saw it coming down, you know, on Whisper. But since it was dark, we have no idea. Now, did the Whisper transmitter fail? It's possible. Could there be moisture? Could there be cold? You know, it's 40 degrees below zero up here. You know, what could have happened? We don't know. Now, if the Whisper's gone out, APRS is still functioning, but it will not be picked up until it gets to China. So we feel like if we're going to make it to China with our balloon, probably in another 4 days, 5 days max, we should be over China. And if we don't get a report over China, we know for sure it's down. Now, we're already starting to work on our next launch. We hope we can launch one in maybe another 3 weeks, 4 weeks maximum. And we're going to be building the tracker ourselves. First, let me just mention Bill Brown. Bill launched the Athens Club, Athens Amateur Radio Club, I think outside of Huntsville, yesterday or the day before, Sunday. They launched a similar balloon, the SBS 13, and Bill helped them. I think he used helium. So they launched a balloon, and we tracked it for about 2 hours until about 4 o'clock. They launched it about 1:45. We tracked it till almost 4 o'clock, and then we didn't get any more tracks. They only had APRS only on that balloon, so and it won't transmit during darkness. And at 4 o'clock it started getting dark, so no more reports. And then probably it has moved over the ocean during darkness. It's moved over the ocean, and there's going to be no tracks because it's APRS only. No tracks all the way over to possibly the Azores. They might get picked up one track at the Azores, and then they go into the dark hole again, into Africa and the Middle East, where there is no APRS. So even if it gets over the Azores, if it's nighttime when it gets there, there will be no tracking. So I know it's tough on those guys down there in the Athens Club that they launched this balloon. They're excited about following it. They only got to see it move for 2 hours over Alabama, and then they're not going to see it now. Possibly they won't see it for 10 or 14 more days before it pops up over China using APRS. So if it makes it there, they'll get several APRS tracks there. It'll go over Japan. They'll get some tracks there, and then it'll go in the dark. When I say go in the dark, it will stop transmitting because it's over the ocean back to the U.S. Now here's the kicker. When it goes over China, if it's dark, it won't transmit there. So they might not even get a position report on that balloon until it hits the United States, possibly makes an entire revolution. So they're kind of in the dark, maybe for the next 10 days to 20 days. They might not even get a report on that balloon. So what we did to remedy that was, in addition to our APRS tracking, we put Whisper on ours, a Whisper transmitter, which is easily picked up 5,000 to 8,000 miles away. So when it's over the ocean and you have no APRS, Whisper will still transmit, and we'll know where it is as it moves in these non-APRS areas. So we'll see what happens there. I think ours is probably down. There's a Whisper report of our balloon. It was close to the Azores there, but you can see people in Europe were picking it up. Spain was picking it up. Canada, U.S. So even though it's out over the ocean, many people will still pick it up there. So I was talking about Bill Brown there, our balloon expert, and Bill has helped us launch the previous party balloons. You know, our 3-foot party balloon made it all the way across China, and it crashed in a storm in Japan. So we almost made it. We went 14,000 miles in 14 days with that one. So Bill has helped us with those. I haven't talked to Bill recently. I will see him in Orlando this weekend. Someone in Facebook says, "Hey, what happened to Bill? Did you guys have an argument or a falling out?" Nothing like that has happened. Bill is just a busy guy. I can send Bill an email, and I might not hear from him for 2 weeks. But he's just a busy guy. He's got a lot going on, and we're trying to learn ourselves, to be self-sufficient to get these balloons off. So what we did on this last balloon, the SBS-13, we bought our own hydrogen. We even bought a tank of helium. We bought hydrogen gauges. We bought the expensive balloon. We got I got the tracker from QRP Labs because I don't think Bill had any trackers. He was in a process of gearing up to have some built. So that was the case there. And as I mentioned earlier, we sunk about $1,000 getting ready for that last launch. Now, here's the nice news. I'm teaming up with Edward Y03 ICT, and he's very experienced in balloon launching. And he has even designed and built his own tracker. And he's been talking to me, and he's convinced me that we need to build our own tracker. So I've already had the boards. They're making the boards as we speak at a factory. I've got all the parts sourced to build a tracker that includes the GPS, the mini processor that goes on there, the transmitter, and all those kind of things. Typically, a tracker might cost you $150 to $180. I'm going to be able to home build these trackers. Total cost is going to be $30. That includes board. Let me show you what it looks like. Also, the other trackers weigh about 10 grams, and then you got to put a super capacitor on. That's another 5, so you're up to 15. Then you got to put solar panels on. That's another, it brings it up to 18 or 20. So it starts getting heavy. But this tracker that I'll be building here, and I've got the parts on order, this tracker I'm building, let me see if I got a picture I can show you what it's going to look like. There's the board right there I'm having built. And you can see it's surface mount technology. By the way, that's a AAA battery, a AAA battery, AAA. So you can see the size of this thing. It's about a ½ inch by maybe an inch. And that's one side. The other side has a couple of the big chips on it. Maybe they're 38 or 40 pin chips. I'm going to have to build it under a microscope. It's going to be very tedious, but we're willing to try to put this together. So I got 15 boards being built right now to send me. So hey, at $30 a tracker, we could launch one every couple weeks if we want to. If we don't make it or it goes down after 10 days, hey, we'll shoot another one up. And Edwards had a lot of good luck with the 3-foot clear Chinese balloons. Those balloons are about $1.50 each. So we can really bring the cost of this down. Now we already have hydrogen left, we have helium left, so we're in good shape here to get some launches going. So When we get back off our trip, hopefully I'll have parts and we can build this. I want you to look at the weight. On the left there, you see the tracker board on the left. That has 6 solar cells on there. Look at the weight, 3.9 grams. That's 3.9 grams, including the solar panels and the GPS antenna. The one we launched last week, it came out at 27 grams, 27 versus 3.9. So this is a very, very light tracker. And Edward is pre-stretching me a balloon. So he's got the science down where, he inflates these things, he stretches it, he tests it, he takes a hair dryer and gets these 3-foot Chinese balloons to stretch. And then if they fail, of course, we don't want to use it. So he's sending me a pre-tested stretch balloon in the mail. I should have it in a couple weeks. And we'll go from there. These Chinese balloons should be okay if they're tested and stretched. My understanding is out of a batch of 5, you may have one good one that will hold the hydrogen or helium, only one good one, and it will be in the middle of the stack. So out of ordering 5, we may only get one good balloon that passes our quality. So that's where we are on the balloons. Let's see. We're going to be using whisper only. We'll be using whisper only on this tracker. But he and his friends have written a Python script that will take the whisper information, and it will include latitude, longitude, speed, altitude, all those things. And we're going to convert that in a Python program script, and it will be sent to APRS map. So you'll be able to see it on APRS map or HabHub map, or you can even get the data off Whisper. So we should have pretty good tracking with it. So we're real excited about getting started on this. Let's see, any more balloon pictures here that I can pull up here. The SBS 13 balloon, it's a little under $200 for that balloon. And it's 1 mil thick. It looks like, some kind of type clear plastic type stuff. Looks very similar to the clear balloon, to the material here. This balloon is $1.50. This balloon is a little under $200. The small Chinese balloon has been known. There's one up right now. He's been up, I think, 135 days. So you can get some longevity with the Chinese balloon. 135 days would be nice. And that will surely get you around the world a few times. So we're kind of going that route. We were hoping that the SBS 13 balloon was going to stay up 5 months, 8 months. But you can't play with Mother Nature. Mother Nature she ended it that night over Africa. So that's our story there, and we're sticking to it. Let's see what else is on our list here. I've already talked a little about Hamcation, talked about the balloon and Emmett. Next week, our show will be recorded show. I have recorded some fresh new intro on it, but the main part of the show next week will be a discussion with Martin F. Jew that I've recorded. People love to hear the stories that Martin tells, and I thought it would be a good show, but I'm not going to be able to be live for a show Tuesday night next week, but it's still going to be a good show. Tune in and watch it. And I'll try to be in a chat room and chatting with you guys. I'm going to open the phone lines in just a minute and let people call in and see what they might have to say and talk about. It's ham radio, anything here. So let's open this line up. And we got local phone numbers in 65 countries. So We could, have our friend Tony down in Australia. Who knows who's going to call in? So, yeah, it's a slow night tonight. Again, everybody's packed up and already headed to Orlando. Let me put the phone number up on the screen here where people can call into the show. Well, let's see. All I have to do is find the phone number. There it is. All right, so I've got the phone number up on the show, and hey, maybe Chris, the new ham, will call in. That just got his license last night. I'd love to have him on here. Again, the number that you'll call if you're in the U.S. is 712-775-7270, and then you'll get a little message, and you'll have to put in code 407051 pound. And then you'll be on the phone line here with us. And now, as I told you before, this phone system is capable of taking 1,000 simultaneous phone calls. I probably can't handle 1,000 at a time, but let's see if we can get 4 or 5 people in there, actually. So, let's see. There's the music. That means nobody's calling in yet. I'll try to watch the screen. I'll turn the music down. I'll watch the screen to see if anybody calls in. Come on, guys, call in and help me out with the show tonight. I need you to help me tonight on the show. This is going to be open mic night for you guys. And I don't know if Roy is in there or not. Roy up in Washington, if you want to get on here and play the guitar, that's fine, man. The guitar has a lot to do with ham radio. Did you know on the last tracker I built, oh, we got a phone call. We got a phone here. The last tracker I built, we used a guitar string for the 2-meter antenna. Hey, who's on the phone?
Hey, this is AB5JM.
Who is? Give me your call again.
Alpha Bravo 5 Juliet Mike, Tom.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, but I'll tell you something. The bands were atrocious this evening.
Well, I've seen them a lot worse. The net was pretty good tonight, actually.
Well, the best I could get you was about a 4x5. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was hooked up to my 4,000-foot antenna. I was probably going over you.
Now, that's probably the case.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You always jump too high.
Yeah. I need to kind of aim that down a little bit for you. Now, hey, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry about the MIA on the balloon.
Man, well, we knew going into it, if you're not prepared to lose it, man, in the first hour, you're not doing it right. So we knew there was no guarantee, and it was looking so good. It was flying at 41,000 steady, all the way across the ocean. It was flying steady. So I kind of believe that during the darkness, it must have deteriorated and maybe came down or something. I think we were flying high enough that we would have been over any storms. So we just don't know what happened. And let me tell you, I mean, a miracle could happen. It could show back up. But the transmitter could start back up, or APRS might pick it up. We don't know. But we're getting geared up for backup launch.
Well, I think that's great, and you've got to have some reason to do something new again.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to go with a cheaper balloon, no $200 balloon. We're going with a $1.50 balloon. We're going with a tractor that costs $30 instead of $150 or $180. And that way, if they go down in the ocean, I don't care. We'll just throw another one up,
That's exactly correct. And by the way, I did get your QSL card, and thank you very much for returning.
Well, very good. I'm glad you got it, man. And that was some. Those cards were made by Gennady. He's given away a lot of cards on our ham broadcast as prizes. He's over in the Ukraine, and he does great work, man. I mean, I had 1,000 cards made for about $70. He makes them full color, front, back, whatever you want. He'll help you design it, or you can provide him the pictures, the artwork. But $70 for 1,000 cards, and that included the postage back to the U.S.
Not a bad deal at all, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, let me clear with you and let someone else come in.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
Well, now you got it.
All right, well, I thought it was somebody there at your home was going to get on.
All right, Tom, take care.
All right, man.
Talk to you later.
All right, 73. We'll see you later there. Okay, guys, hey, give us a call, 712-775-7270. And the code, write this down. If you're listening on WBCQ and you want to call in, you don't have to be watching the show. If you're just listening on shortwave, the number in the U.S. is 712-775-7270. And then you just, when they ask you, just hit 407-051 and the pound sign. And hey, for you guys watching offshore, if you go to up on the top of our webpage, if you go to contact, over on the left side of that page it says call into the show, and you can click on phone numbers, and you can find the international phone number for your country. And you could actually dial that local number and check the show here. Okay, we got somebody from 318 area code. How you doing? Well, we had somebody. But they left us. Maybe they'll call back. Yeah, Bill is going to launch a balloon in Orlando, so that'll be interesting, and we'll see if we can't get that on see if we can't get that on video for you guys. So we're still looking for people to call in. I'm really excited. What area code? Well, it's gone now. I think it was a 318 or 319, something like that. All right. We're really excited about building our own tracker, and it's going to be, we got a call there, 603 area, 503 area code. Hello, who is that?
Hey, this is Kilo India 7, Papa Kilo Lima, Roy, actually in Oregon. I heard your name.
Hey, Roy, you heard me talking about you, didn't you?
I was sitting there about the Thursday away from eating dinner, watching your show, and all of a sudden I heard my name. So yes, I had to come here in the shack and get connected and give you a call and say hi. So
you are a superstar on the show. You know, when we used to have hangout, we used to have hangout at the end of the show where we could have up to 10 people call in and everybody could join the show on video. We had Roy. Roy played a couple tunes for us on his guitar, so we're gonna have to have Roy back on here sometime and do that.
Yeah, live on YouTube too. You know, don't mess up.
Yeah. So hey, man, how you doing out there? And is it summertime out there yet?
No, I think we have a little ways to go. We've had a couple of days of break in the rain, though, and I've been real thankful for that. But it's kind of chilly. But no, summer's just a long ways off. So I've been doing winter projects here for quite some time. It's just been winter for quite some time. So. And I got through cancer last year, so hey, life is good.
So you know, hey, it feels like summertime here, man. It's been like 70 degrees outside. It's just amazing what the temperature is here. I think we're actually going to be warmer than Orlando, Florida. I think it's going to be in the 60s when we get down there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm watching you like 60 seconds ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I used to kind of, when I started doing the writing, I used to get kind of jealous of some of the guys in the South. You know, the guy in Houston, you know, he's barbecuing, it's January and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then the following summer, I stopped being jealous of them when they told me what your year was like. So, we're just kind of in the banana belt here in Oregon. Just not too hot, not too cold, not too much snow, not too much anything, but maybe that's a good thing.
So you're saying not too hot and not too cold, right? Just right.
Yeah, pretty much. Not exactly just right, but certainly a lot closer than some of the other places I talked to.
Well, that reminds me about a movie, and the people probably heard me talk about this before. There's a movie called Miss Congeniality, and they asked her in this pageant, tell us about the perfect date. What is the perfect date? And she goes, June 20th. It's not too hot, not too hot, and not too cold.
That's been so long since I saw that movie, I completely forgot that part.
Yeah,
I love
yeah. All right. Well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
pretty much what we got here,
try. I'm gonna try to watch the chat room a little bit, and if people have comments or anything, I'll try to answer those. Again, guys, the show's a little different tonight. We don't have any lined up special segments, so it's going to be kind of open mic night for you guys to call in. So for you new guys here, you guys, this is normally not what the show is like. We do have some really good material and segments and guests on the show, but we just don't have it tonight. Let's see what's going on here. I'm still waiting. Man, I'm still waiting for Chris, KO4AWN, to call in and talk about getting his ham radio license. I love talking to new people that get their license, especially when they upgrade to general. I think that is a step that every ham artist shoot for, and upgrade to general. It's a completely different world out there. I've been a ham 56 years. Here's a guy that's been a ham, or I guess he got his general last night, a new guy, but that's what this show's about, bringing ham radio to you, and anything we can do to help to bring, segments to you or interesting topics to you, that's what we want to do.
Yeah,
All right.
There's something about the magic of talking to somebody on HF, where it's not so repeater, the farther away you are, the weaker it is, and once you get caught up in that, it's kind of hard to stop.
Well, and ham radio has changed a whole lot in 50-something years since I got in it. Back when I got in it, we really didn't even have 2 meters. Nobody had a 2-meter, radio. And I mean, hey, man, the handy talkies didn't even come out till 10 or 15 years later, man. And and there's so much new stuff now, though, for the new young people. All this digital stuff. You got D-Star and Fusion and all that kind of stuff, and I hear these new people that just got their license, and on some of these Facebook groups, and it's really interesting. They say, I just got my license. What kind of radio do I need? Well, you really should have been thinking about this for a while. What do you want to do? Do you want to talk long distance? Do you want to talk local and repeaters? And then I hear people talking about, I've got my little handy talkie. I can talk to people in Germany and Australia, with my handy talkie. Well, that RF signal is probably only going about 5 miles, and then it's the internet the rest of the way. So it's just a big difference now than it was back when I got my license. Back in the old days, when we had electricity, we didn't even have internet.
It took a long time back then, too. You didn't get your license. You didn't go to a class and get your license, pass your license the same day, and then, you get it a week later. We bought a receiver. We listened. We practiced. We, spent months getting our license back then. By the time we got on the air, we knew what it was like because we'd heard a lot of it by that time.
Oh, yeah. And, I started out just as a shortwave listener, and I think many people back in my era did that too. The old 1940 big circled Zenith, a shortwave set that stood about 4 feet high in your house, and man, it would really bring some stations in, man, Radio Moscow and Radio Havana, Cuba, and places like that, And, I got my ham license, and the funny thing about that is, when I went in the Air Force, I had my job required a top secret crypto security clearance. And one day they pulled my security clearance. And they said, have you been in contact or listened to Moscow or Cuba? And I go, well, yeah. I mean, I'm a ham radio operator. It's a hobby, and so I lost my top secret clearance for about 2 weeks while they reran it. They went back and talked to all my neighbors back home and everybody, and obviously I checked out okay. So they gave me my clearance back. But it kind of got me in trouble, being a ham radio operator or a shortwave listener.
And you probably got those little postcards from Russia all the time too.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of QSL cards, man. I collected QSL cards from Russia and Cuba, and so wow, man. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't we all? I was excited to get those in the from the burrow. That's why they took so long to get here, because the burrow doesn't move very fast.
So okay, they answered the question in the room there. The Athens group's balloon is called N4 SEV-2. It may not show up for 2 more weeks, guys. So just keep watching for it. I know they're sitting on the edge of their seats. Well, you're talking about back in the old days, the cards and stuff. Look at this. I was going through some stuff. We didn't have the internet we didn't have QRZ.com to look up. And look, this is how it used to be. This is how it used to be right here. 4 times a year, you could buy a call book, and it was listed alphabetically, just like a phone book. So if you look at this one here, you can see there's 3 columns of listings. And if you look down, actually, if you look in the middle column there, halfway down, you can see Martin. Well, wait a minute, let's see. Maybe you can see me. Let's see. Yeah, you can see me there. About a third of the way down, middle column, it says WA5KUB. Tommy C. Medlin, Wilson, Arkansas. Zip code. And that's all the information that we had our access to look up somebody. And this thing came out 4 times a year, and it was like $25 a copy. So basically you got one, and it did you for the whole year,
1 year?
Yeah, or longer, I wish I could find
I had a couple of those. I had a GX one too.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're looking for callers, man. I can't believe you guys aren't calling in here. Oh,
I thought I heard somebody trying to break in there at some point.
Well, I only see one number on that you, so.
Okay.
Hey, if you guys can hear me, I'm here. This is KO4AWN.
Wait a minute. We got somebody else in here?
Yeah.
Let me check my phone system. Hang on. It sounds like, let's see. Phone system. Attendees. Oh, man, we got 2 people in here. Who's that in area code 863?
Yes, this is Chris in Lakeland, KO4AWN.
Hey, Chris, you're the new guy, man. You just got your license, man. Are you excited?
Yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
man.
Very much so.
All right. Hey, you sound like a young guy. Can you share?
Yeah, I'm 40.
You're 40? Man, you sound awfully young for 40. I thought you were a college kid,
No,
right.
No. I've got 2 kids of my own. So.
All right. Well, you got plenty of years to have fun with it. It's been all kinds of aspects that we play with in ham radio. Now, did you have a license before, or maybe like a tech or something? Tell us a little about your background.
Yeah, I just got my tech in January.
Okay.
Been kind of interested in ham radio, but never really took the leap of it. What kind of got me back into it is, being in Florida, we deal with hurricanes, right?
Yeah.
I happened to see those little UHF, VHF baofangs on the internet, and I saw that, might be good to have one in case there's an emergency. So I picked up one of those, and I just started scanning around the frequencies and listening, to what people were saying and doing, and that got me a little more interested. And then a couple years later, I picked up one of those little USB SDRs.
Yeah.
And that really kind of opened my eyes to what was possible. And then as a side project, I actually built a little know a satellite receiver. I'm an IT tech guy by trade, so so I'm pretty handy with things like computers and stuff like that. So I built out of a Raspberry Pi a QFH antenna, hooked it up, and have it actually in my attic, and it actually automatically goes down and grabs the satellite telemetry every night, and then schedules all the passes, records them, decodes them, creates an image index, and then like synchronizes that to the cloud so I can see what the passes look like each day. So I thought that was pretty fun.
All right. Well, man, you sound like you got it going here. Do you know anything about Python?
Yeah, I know how to work Python.
Oh man, we may be calling on you to join the next balloon launch team here, in case we need to change some Python scripts or code, man.
Sure, yeah, I'd be happy to help.
Yeah. So what we use Python for is our transmitter. We're going to have on our next balloon launches, it's going to be whisper only, which is 20 meters, and it's non-APRS. But the Python script is going to pull that off the web, the whisper information off the web, latitude, longitude, altitude, speed, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to mix it all together and make it look like an APRS signal, and it's going to send it into the APRS network, so we can watch it on APRS or tracker.hub.
Sure, yeah, that'd be fun to be involved with. So yeah, if you need help, feel free to give me a call.
Sure, we'll do it. And tonight's the first night we met on the 40-meter net, and we are so glad we hooked up with you. We hook up with some new people every now and then. I don't know if they join the show or not, but you took the chance and joined us. Again, this is not what the show typically is. We usually have more fun on here. But we're having fun.
Yeah, I understand you guys are preparing for the Orlando show, which is in my backyard, so it'll be my first ham fest.
Okay,
as well.
And we'll see you down here in Orlando. Just watch for us. I'll have the W5KUB hat and shirt, and if you see me, stop me and tell me who you are, okay?
Okay, yes, sir. I will.
That'd be great, man. So, okay, well, I'm glad you upgraded to general. That makes me happy. That's what I want to see all these techs do. There's maybe some techs that just don't have the interest in that, and if they want to stay with, VHF, I guess that's okay. But there's a lot more to do, and there's a lot more to do and a lot more fun with the general license. And hey, going out there and get your extra. That'll give you a little bit. That'll give you about twice.
I'm already preparing for that one.
Yeah, that'll give you twice the bandwidth that you've got now. But even with the general license, you've got the same bands that the extra has. It just only have half of it. Well, very good.
Yeah, sure.
Very good, man.
Yeah, it's I found myself with just the tech wanting to be on HF, so. I found a really good deal on an ICOM 7300 and pulled the trigger, went for it, and then got my general. So,
well, the 7300 is a beautiful little radio. I've got one, and when we go to North Carolina or somewhere, I'll take it with me and throw an antenna up in a tree there, and put a little auto tuner at the base of the tree. And it's a neat little rig. It'll do everything you want to as a general for sure, and an extra.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very impressed with it. It's I didn't think I could afford it, but I happened to find a guy who was a tech that never upgraded to general, and he had bought himself the 7300, so he let it go as kind of a kit with a power supply and antenna and everything for like $800, and I just couldn't pass it up.
Oh man, hey, I don't even think you can't buy a 7300 for $800. I don't think you can.
No, and I don't think he even transmitted on the thing because he was a tech.
Yeah.
So if he,
and in fact, that you got a power supply with it and an antenna, man, you got a good deal there. You got a good deal. I'll give you I'll give you 900.
Yeah.
I'll give you 900 for it right now.
Well, maybe we'll talk in Orlando. I'll sell it to you.
All right. I don't need another radio. My wife's always telling me, you need to buy a new radio. You need to buy a new one, but you need to get rid of a couple old ones first. But hams never hardly get rid of their radios.
sure.
There's a comment in the chat room. The president of the club down in Texas, boy, they were fighting pythons Saturday and Sunday night. I didn't even know what python was
okay.
until recently.
Yeah, well, if it's all right, I can give my email address out if anyone would like to email me. I'd be happy to help.
All right. Well, if we get to that point and need you there, we'll surely do it. And hopefully you'll tune into the show every Tuesday night and join us on Facebook. We got a lot going on, man. The channel's really growing. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just put them in the chat room. I mean, in the Facebook, and we'll somebody will answer you. And we got one of our other co-hosts, Katie Allen. A lot of times pulls the pictures. If you want to put pictures in Facebook in our group, pictures of your shack or you operating or something like that, Katie will pull those pictures, and we'll actually show them on one of our Tuesday night shows.
Awesome.
Well, hey, Chris, thanks so much for calling, man, and congratulations on your license. And we're so happy to be your first sideband contact.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to exploring the band some more. So.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you. Oh, I think we got another caller in from area code 713. Who's the other guy? Who's the caller?
No, it's not another guy, Tom.
Oh, you're right.
Me.
You got an awful. hey, guy. You got an awful high voice, guy.
I would think so.
hey, Teresa, how you doing?
Doing good. How y'all doing, Tom?
I'm doing fine. And Chris, feel free to stay on the phone if you're still on there. And Roy, I don't know if you left or not. But Roy, hi, Roy. You still there? Roy must have dropped off.
Yep.
Oh, he's still there. He's getting his guitar warmed up. Get your amp warmed up here. Hey, what's going on, Teresa?
Well, a whole bunch of things, but mostly I wanted to let the group know about School Club Roundup that's coming up this next week.
Oh, okay. Talk to us about
It's
it.
a ARRL contest that is a contest where as many of the schools around the U.S., middle school, high school, and collegiate levels, are all trying to make as many contacts as they can. We operate all week, but we're only allowed to count contacts from a 24-hour period out of the 107-hour event. And so this next week will be School Club Roundup, February 10th through 14th.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys have fun with that. Does it go all week, like, weekend to weekend?
As far as I know, it's just the 10th to the 14th.
Oh, okay.
And, it's, I think, various schools will be operating on, various days. I don't know. This will be my first time to participate.
Okay. All right.
The first time that I'm going to be near a school that has a ham radio group, and I'm going to be participating with W5AC, Texas A&M Ham Radio Club. So it's going to be fun.
Well, cool. Hey, my son has moved down to Texas. Did y'all meet somewhere down here, maybe at a ham fest? Did y'all get to see each other?
Not yet. If he's going to be at Belton, I might see him out there.
Okay.
There's going to be a whole herd of us out there in maroon shirts.
Okay. Yeah, he's in Austin, so I don't know where that is from Austin.
I don't know where I don't even know where Belton is from here.
No, you need to get
It'll
you a
be
map.
the first time I've gone out to Belton.
You need to get you a map, man, like we did in the old days. We used a map, Did you ever sit around in a car and take that gas station map out of the glove box and open that map up and, navigate from a map? Did you ever do that, or are you too young?
I was too young to do it once I got to driving, but I remember doing a little bit of it when I was a kid.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, GPS makes it so easy.
Most of the time.
Yeah, but Kathy will tell you, I argue a whole lot with our GPS. I don't always agree. I don't always agree with her.
Yeah. Yeah, I can believe it, because there's times that I look at or listen to the directions that my GPS has given me, and I go, why do I want to do that? I've got a perfectly good overpass that I can take.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there another caller online? I don't think there is anybody new. Okay, I'm trying to watch the numbers as they come in. I think Chris was on a long time before I acknowledged him. Well, all right. Well, somebody asked, will Hambot be in Orlando? We're not going to run Hambot in Orlando. Again, we don't have a booth down in Orlando. It would have taken way too much to carry all the studio stuff and cameras and PCs and monitors and all that stuff. So we're not actually setting up a booth, but we will be recording all day on Friday, and we do have a location, a secure location in the facility there to set up a stream, and we'll run all day Friday's show on Saturday. So it will be live. To some extent, it'll be live. It'll be coming to you from Hamcation, and you guys can, all talk with each other in the chat room. Okay.
Are y'all going to be heading out on another cruise afterwards again this year?
Yeah, while we're down, we'll just, to keep from just wasting a trip. Although we're not wasting a trip to Hamcation, but we felt like we need to do something else while we're down here. So we'll take a little short cruise, and we'll be back, maybe the week after.
Cruises are so much fun. Love them.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What? No live, Kim? Well, it won't be exactly live. We may cut in live. I mean, we may end up. I mean, we'll have a camera there on the laptop and a mic and so forth, and the stream will be going out semi-live, and there's no reason that we may not just cut back in live if something special comes up. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen down there. Well, Teresa, how's the weather been down? Is it warm down there?
We've had a warm week this past week, but the city that I used to live in before I moved down here to College Station, they're under a winter storm advisory right now.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That you guys are getting snow maybe tomorrow down that way, and that we usually get it about 1 day later here when we, when you guys down here in Texas get it, we usually have it like 1 day later. Let's see. Just stand by a second, and we'll be right back, guys. New year, new savings. Bring in a new year loud and clear with some of ICOM's most innovative products. Check out the websites for current promotions on ICOM's 7610, the 7300, and the 9700. Start the new year off with the high-performance IC7610. It is a direct sampling transceiver that will change the world's definition of a software-defined radio. It has the ability to pick out the faintest of signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. It has RF direct sampling, 110 dB REM DR, independent dual receiver, and dual digiselect. The IC7300 is changing the way entry-level HF is designed. The high-performance, innovative HF transceiver has a compact design that will far exceed your expectations. It has RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3 color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope. The IC9700 was built with a VHF-UHF weak signal operator in mind. It has faster processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. ICOM's IC9700 is the pinnacle of perfection. It has a 4.3 touchscreen, dual watch operation, and full duplex operation, real-time spectrum scope, and a waterfall, voice recording and playback. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need, from QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote. An LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
All right, and we're back. Let me get that phone number back up. And I think we've got a new caller. We've got, let me get the echo off here. We've got Michael, KD8GIJ. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Good, Todd. How you doing?
Doing good, man. What's going on? And where are you exactly? You're
Eastern Ohio.
Ohio. All right, very good, man. It won't be long.
I just was calling because it looked like you wanted a phone call, and my chat had dropped. I was on the chat, and it just dropped out on me and wouldn't
Really?
reconnect. So, yes. But I just closed it all out and restalled it, and looks like.
Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes we drop off the chat. I don't know what causes that. We haven't figured it out. You should be able to get back in if you want to. Yeah, it says you've joined right there.
Yep.
You should be back in. Well, good. Now, what part of Ohio?
All right, that's all.
What part of Ohio are you?
Used to be in Columbus, but now I'm far east, right on the Ohio River.
Okay. So, are you going to make it to Hamvention this year?
I don't know. It's always my son's birthday.
Oh, well, you need to bring him. You need to bring him to Hamvention then.
Yeah. Well, he's a new father now, so he's got other priorities. But yeah, we actually met in Hamvention.
Did we?
Once,
okay.
Probably like 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Back when it was still in Dayton. Yeah, I remember stopping by the booth and talking, chatting.
Were we outside then? I'm trying to think. When we moved inside.
Oh yes, you were still outside.
Oh, we were outside. Okay. Well, wow. That was a while back. Boy, it was a tough deal outside with all the computers and stuff. We were always fighting rain and wind and dirt blowing and no good electricity and very sorry internet. It was pretty tough back in the olden days.
Yeah, well, I was there. The sewage system exploded.
Oh, you were there when the sewer exploded and when the pipes exploded in the ground, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah, I remember that. Boy, that was tough, man, when the sewer exploded, and they brought the hazmat team out. They actually had to rope it off, and I think it was starting to get under some of the people out there. Oh man.
Yeah, I used to go almost every year, and then to get older and other work. I haven't probably made it to 5 or 6 years now, so. I need to go to, so it's at the new site, Xenia, right? So I need to try to make that one here.
Yeah, well, come on back here. Hey, we got a new caller, I think. Who's the new caller?
All right. Thanks, Tom. I'm hanging up.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks for calling, man. Who else is on the phone? Well, maybe nobody. All right, I'm showing a couple people on there now. Oh, man. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, I am still here, so I haven't hung up yet.
All right. We were talking about Hamvention, and when the sewer exploded there, that was interesting. That's something you don't want to be around. We've been going to Hamvention for 37 years. I think, we got some new callers there. Stand by, callers. Quick story. We've been going up there for about 37 years. There's always something funny happens.
King Charles 8, Fox Queen Victor.
Queen Victor. What was the call? Queen Victor.
Yeah, it's KC8, FQV, Tom. A long time no talk.
Yeah, okay. Give everybody your name and your location there.
Okay, the name is Mark with a K. And the call and location is Aurora, Ohio. Now about maybe 25 miles from DX Engineering.
Yeah, okay. Well, you used to get on Hangout.
Yep, up in Aurora, Ohio.
Yeah, you used to get on Hangout with us all the time.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Haven't seen you in a long time or talked to you. Glad you're still following the show here.
Oh yeah, I'm following the show. Well, I haven't been for a while, and I gotta go back into that.
Cool. Well, that's good, Mark. Glad to have you in here, man. Hey, I was just fixing to tell a quick story.
Yep.
One of the 37 years of Hamvention, we've already discussed the sewer blowing up. But you know, the Johnny on the Spots, the little outhouses, used to be inside the fence out in the flea market. And one time, right here at the back door of Hare Arena, right next to the hot dog stand, they had a portable toilet there, Johnny on the Spot, and it actually turned over right there. And it was pretty bad, man. After that, I think they moved I think they moved all the toilets outside the fence. Now everybody has to walk outside the fence to get to them. But that's just one of many stories there. Oh man. Well, Mark.
I've always called them like they were refrigerators.
Now, what was that about a refrigerator?
I always sort of looked at them little outhouses like they were refrigerators. Back when I was growing up.
Oh, I never really thought of it as a refrigerator, but they all serve the same purpose there for sure. Oh man!
Oh, years ago. Yeah, years ago. Yeah, they've changed a little bit in the way they make them now. They're a little bit different style. They sort of look like now they're sort of a lot thinner plastic and everything.
Yeah, you know, about the size of a phone booth. Now, you know what? You ask kids today, talk about a phone booth, and many kids today don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about a phone booth. So isn't that interesting that they don't even know what a phone booth is today. And it's just amazing how new generations just don't know some of the things that us old guys knew, you know?
Well, there is one thing they should know a little bit about, but not know about. But, you know, because they have their phones, and they have to be plugged back into the wall to get rejuvenated. Well, you know, we used to have to be tied to the phone, tied to the wall. You know, it used to be on the wall, and that was it.
Yeah.
We couldn't go anywhere like we do these days.
Well, that's true. That's really true. That's true, man. Oh.
Well, I'll let you go.
All right, man. I was looking to see who else may have joined us. Okay, hey, Mark, good to hear from you again. Haven't heard from you, and since we stopped hanging out, enjoyed always talking to you. 73 Mark, thanks for calling.
Yep, I'm going to turn the volume back up and listen.
All right, man. Thank you.
Keep up, QD.
All right. Good night. All right. Do we have a new caller? Guess we don't have a new caller yet. Well, Teresa, what's been going on the last 5 minutes?
Oh, not too much. I have in the last week shared your stream and the video of the balloon launch and all that with the club, because we've got one kid that's really interested in doing a balloon launch. So you might be hearing from him in the next week or two.
Okay. Well, be sure and tell him that, you know, that you never know. This balloon could have gone many times around the Earth, many months, and it crashed the first day when it got to Europe. But we're going to keep trying. So, you know, we're going to use smaller balloons. They're not going to have the going power that this expensive balloon had. But again, we can't just launch $200 balloons every month. So we're gonna play with the $1.50 Chinese balloons, and people are having good luck with them if you pre-test them and stretch them. We got one of those coming from Edward in Romania, YO3 ICT, and he's the one that's helping us with our tracker and giving me the plans to build this tracker. So we're going to keep trying it with the small balloons, and there'll be some good results, and there'll be some not so good results.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping for good results even from this one that y'all just launched. I'm hoping it's just a case of whisper fail, and once it gets over China, we'll pick up some more APRS.
Well, just don't know, but there's always hope. You know, if you are into ham radio satellites, and we worked the little satellites with 2 meter and 440 gear, and there was a satellite, one of the Oscar satellites that was up, and it went dead after I don't know, 5 or 10 years. It went dead. The batteries shorted out on it up in space, and this Oscar satellite went dead. And it was dead for 20 or 25 years. And one day, it just came back alive after 25 years up there. And what had happened is the batteries had shorted, and when the batteries short, the solar panel, of course, was shorted. It couldn't generate any electricity. But after 25 years, the short in the batteries became an open. And when it became an open, that allowed the solar panel to send power to the radio. And as long as it's in the sun, you can make contacts through that satellite today. It came back alive after 25 or 30 years.
Yeah, I've heard that story, and I think that's just fascinating.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. That's not going to happen with our balloon. We're not going to go 30 years.
No, I doubt we'll make 30, but hopefully we'll still be up in another 4 days or so, and when we get over China, we'll start picking up the APRS again.
All right, well, let me check the chat room out here, see if anybody had anything to say. Again, it's a pretty dull night for us. I'll see someone talking about, I guess that's Cambridge, the birthplace of John Glenn. We hope astronaut Wheelock is with us again this year at Dayton. I don't know if he's going to make it. We don't know. His schedule, you never know what the schedule's going to be like. So we've asked him. He's put it on his calendar. He's been with us the last 7 years, so that's a good tradition for him to not break. So we're hoping he'll be with us this year at Hamvention again, and that would be astronaut Doug Wheelock. And here's a picture of Doug right there. And he signs a lot of autographs and talks to a lot of people. I don't know how he does it. Boy, I would get very tired to sit there for 6 hours and signing autographs. Looks like we're going to have a little change in Dayton this year. Here's the layout in Building 2. Down in the bottom right side, the bottom right, you see spaces 2804 and 2805. That's been typically our space for the last several years. Hamvention is really getting squeezed with people wanting in the building. So we're only going to get one space this year. We're only going to get that one space, 2804. So that's going to crowd us a little bit. So we're not going to bring quite as much gear. We won't bring tables for interviews. If we do interviews, we'll stand up and do the interview there. But we'll make it. We'll make it. That's still a good spot. And with just one place, we'll make it. It was nice having the little smaller space there, the 2805. We could put chairs back there and some of the overflow and some of the things under the table. But that probably is going to go. And I understand it may be, since they're opening it up, it may be that Jason from Ham Radio 2.0 YouTube and Josh from Ham Radio Crash Course and they may actually take that booth. We don't know yet. But if they do, they'll be right next to us, and they can be part of our webcast.
And can you imagine the collaboration between the three of y'all in person, just given what y'all have done together on each other's streams?
Yeah, and it would be nice if Josh or Jason would take the mic and do some interviews and have people come by. That way I could leave for maybe 1 or 2 hours, and I could look around. We've been going to Hamvention now about 37 years. We've been streaming for about 17. And ever since we started streaming, I have missed out. I haven't been able to see Hamfest or Hamvention, because when you're behind a camera, looking through the little thing here and talking with people, you don't really see anything. So it's totally work, and you don't get to see anything, And but if I can get some relief, an hour here, an hour there, we might even have time to get some lunch this year.
That would be good for y'all.
Yeah.
I know just from last year, seeing y'all last year, I knew y'all were busy, but I never realized it was quite that chaotic.
Yeah, Dayton, each of us, we feel like we're a one-armed paper hanger, and it is totally busy from the time we step there to the time that we leave. Totally busy. We're trying to put the show on. If there are any technical issues come up, we have to troubleshoot and get the show back on as quick as we can. And we've got so many people that come up and want to talk to you. Hey, I know you. I watch the show every week, and so you got to talk to those people. So it's really there is no break.
Not one at all.
Yep.
But y'all handle it wonderfully, I gotta say.
Well,
it's one of the things that was the first stream that I ever saw y'all do, was one of the Hamventions, and I was hooked.
Yeah, and that was in the building too there at the new place, I think.
No, that was still outside the very first year that I saw.
Well, back when we did it outside, there wasn't that much going on, actually. I mean, Kathy didn't attend. Some other guys came with me, but they weren't really part of the show. It was a one-man show, I gave prizes away and kept a list on a piece of paper and aimed a camera and, that kind of stuff. So what we didn't really do back then and what we do now, and it wasn't high definition. It was very, very crude video, and it was a real amateur production back then.
Yeah, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you, but for those of us sitting at home. Yeah. I know I'm just one person speaking at this point in time, but I know I've heard others say that one of the great things about what you do is they can't go, but we can see what you are getting able to see.
Yeah. Well, we have tried also the last year or two to bring in, at least, it's so massive and so spread out. We've got some people that actually, like you, that go out and collect some video and bring it in, and we can run it. It may be 30 minutes old, but we can actually run it and let you see what's happening out in the flea market and places like that. And of course, Huntsville is not near as bad as the Dayton, and you've been with us a number of times in Huntsville, and we don't get as hot and sweaty there, and it's not as fast-paced inside there. All right, I don't see anybody new on the phone. I guess people just don't want to call in. I think we're going to go ahead and terminate the show tonight. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm going to get some dinner. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day, and we got to get ready for this Orlando trip. So I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. We had a great time tonight. Tune in next week and watch the recorded show we've got next week. We'll be live the week after that, and we'll try to have some things scheduled. Hopefully Riley Hollingsworth will be with us real soon to talk about the FCC new monitoring program, or the ARL monitoring program. I think Emmett will be back with us probably in a few weeks. Katie will be back, I'm sure. Joe, K0NEB, has more kits to show us. He'll be back probably next week or the week after. So there's a lot going on here. 73 to everybody. Good night, everybody. I'm going to turn the phone number off. Turn the phone number off so nobody else will call. There we go. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in, and don't forget our 40-meter net on Tuesdays. Join our Facebook group, W5KUB Facebook group, 9,000 people, and we'll see you later. Good night to you, Teresa. Roy, good night, Roy.
Thanks, Tom.
Good night, Tom.
All right, guys, we will see you later. Goodbye.
Tom, y'all be safe traveling and have fun.
All right, we'll do it.
Good night.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There's the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.